Hello my friends, welcome to this video. I am sorry about my raspy voice. Probably it's not the best idea to do it right now, but I refuse to give up. I need to record this video before I go home, even though there's 2 more weeks before we leave. I've been sitting on these pictures and little keepsakes, ephemera that I collected on the flight for way too long, so it is time. I refuse to take it back with me to California, and I also want to record it before everything fades into the past way too much. Also, there's another trip ahead of us. Hopefully it's going to be easier because my husband will be with me. But then I don't want the two experiences to mix up. Now, I've been traveling every year home. I have to because I'm just too homesick if I don't. So I've been doing this trip for the past 10 years. Well, actually, first I couldn't travel home, so at least for the past 8 years, and for the past 4 years with kids. I traveled home while pregnant. I traveled home with how old was she? My 4-month-old. Oh my goodness, yes, she was 4 months old. Then I traveled home while pregnant and having a toddler, and now traveling home with a toddler and a baby, and most recently traveling home with a 4-year-old and a toddler. I don't even know if she's a toddler anymore. Yeah, she's a small child, but I have some experience up my sleeve, and I am so happy that what I feel the hardest part is over, because they are not so helpless anymore, and especially my oldest one, is able to enjoy the trip when she's not cranky, because that will happen. And she's also able to remember this last time, before this time that we traveled home, she could not stop talking about planes, traveling on a plane, seeing her grandparents. So I am so glad that she is developing a relationship with my grandparents, also experiencing a different culture. However, as prepared as I felt that I was with this trip, the unexpected happens, and this time it was the plane being delayed with 3 hours, and me already starting the trip tired because the night before I didn't sleep too much and not too well either. Not because I was nervous, but mainly because my little one didn't have a good night. So it kind of started off me being tired, but everything went rather smoothly. My oldest one was not too scared. Actually, she was pretty brave. I didn't have to hold her hand just a little bit when we took off, and then she was good. Then another little adventure we had is in San Francisco. My little one took off her boots, and I did not see it. It's a way of her protesting when something doesn't go her way. And I was running, I was retracking myself, trying to find her little boot, because I did not want her to have only one boot. I didn't have a pair of backup shoes. I just tried to pack as light as possible. From experience, I didn't take a lot of toys either. But I'm glad I took some pull-ups with me, because my youngest was just absolutely terrified of the toilets. Also a little bit claustrophobic. It just seems like these commercial planes keep getting smaller and smaller. I don't even know, do they keep adding extra rows of seats in there and just taking space away from the bathrooms? It's so small, oh my goodness. And it's not like I can leave one child behind at the seat, in the seat, and just take one to the bathroom, or me going by myself anywhere. I have to take, if one goes, everybody's going. So you can imagine a lot of carrying the small one and lots of back pain, just long hours with no comfort, and it's just impossible to keep both of them satisfied all the time. And they are not too comfortable either. Yes, they're small, yes, they're kids, but they are very high energy and they're not always going to be happy. So I do want to add that my little one has the most high-pitched, loudest, screechiest scream you ever heard. So I kind of feel bad for those people who was sitting in the same column as us on the plane. I hope they put their headset to a good use, because she was quite unhappy quite a few times. Everything was going very smoothly until our flight from San Francisco to Germany left a little bit late, about half an hour to an hour late. I'm not sure for what reasons, but we got there late, so there was the stress of not catching our connecting flight, which would have meant to spend the night in Germany, which I did before, and I was just absolutely terrified of repeating the same thing again, just because it is very, very difficult, because I would have to pull out all my luggages. I would be by myself with two kids, the stroller, the carry-on luggages, their luggages, and the checked-in luggages, and finding a ride, spending the night at a hotel, then gathering all our stuff and getting back to the airport, which like I said, happened to me before, and it was an absolute nightmare. Thankfully, it happened when I only had my oldest, and she was about 4 or 5 months. And so under the stress of that happening again, I really wanted to rush off the plane and catch my connecting flight. And we was pretty much sprinting through the Munich airport. It took me about 20 minutes and I was pacing quick. The airport is very, very big. I know the route, so I knew I have to get from a very far spot. And I was literally running the whole way, just to find out when I got there that our plane is delayed with 1 hour. Then every hour they added another hour. It was snowing. It wasn't a heavy snow, it was more like a rain and snow mixed together, but it got delayed. So we had an extra 3 hours to hang out, which pretty much was the cherry on the cake, because I was so exhausted from not sleeping. We ended up just playing around with these moving, not stairs, just these moving bands, and they had a little playground which wasn't too child friendly. And even though I had the kiddie tablets for them full of cartoons, it only entertained them so much. About 10-15 minutes at max, at one at a time. And I think at some point my little one just went through all of her cartoons and just didn't want to even see it. She didn't want to play nothing. So it was quite frustrating. at many points, and then my period showed up while on the plane. But every trip that I took so far, there was always somebody willing to help me. Oh, there's always someone, a mom or a dad, who will sympathize with you seeing you alone with 2 kids. So I had a very, very nice lady who helped me on the last flight, on the delayed flight, with everything, with feeding the kids, taking clothes off, putting them back on, luggages, the stroller. She was a godsend angel all the way until I was picking up my luggages in my hometown. She was just so amazing, and I didn't even ask her name. I was so out of it and so tired, I completely forgot to at least ask for her number or her email or something so I can thank her after. But I think it was meant to be this way. Maybe I'm going to meet her again and be able to thank her. Well, I did thank her, but maybe just express more of my gratitude for being such a help for me on the flight. So, with that being said, I am so glad I took the trip this winter and spent Christmas with my family, and having a white Christmas, above all having snow and my kids to experience big snow and sleigh riding and snow fighting and building a snowman was absolutely amazing. Hopefully the next trip will be summertime. It's less chances that the plane is going to get delayed, and it's easier on clothes and luggages also. And I think this is pretty much it, what I wanted to remember about this trip. If you stumbled upon this video looking for some advice with traveling with 2 small children, and you have some questions and I didn't touch on it, please look in the description box. I'm going to leave an email address and also my Instagram information. You can send me a message. However, I have to warn you, I am not on my social media too much, so if you don't get the response in a timely, fast enough, I apologize. And for those of you who just came to check out how I did this spread and listen to me blabber, I hope you enjoyed it, found some inspiration and motivation to keep your daily journal or just your journal in general. I cannot emphasize enough how amazing it is to have pictures on your page that you can come back years later, or when your kids grow up and they can look at their baby pictures or things that they might not remember, but now they can. It's just such an amazing time capsule to have journals like this. So until the next time, take care, stay safe, have a safe trip or flight if you are going to be flying, and I will see you very, very soon. Until next time, bye bye.